Hey guys, Sandy here, and today I have my For the Love of Homemade kits for the month of March. I have it all in this Longaberger basket that I have had forever. I know Longaberger kind of stopped, and now that they're starting to head back, so maybe they'll start carrying something like this again. I'm not sure. But I do have these two photos from 2018. I'm trying to wrap up my 2018 albums. And I have these two photos from my son while he was overseas. So let's see what I can do. Now, I sped this video up a lot. I just struggled with this layout, and it's definitely not one of my favorite layouts ever. So yeah, there is that. I am taking this piece of paper and I'm just put some clear gesso down, and I'm spreading it out with a Disney gift card. Don't worry, the Disney gift card is no longer valid. It's been used. I added my heat gun in just to kind of get it a little bit drier, a little bit quicker, because I already have a mixed media layout that was set to the side to dry while I was working on this one. And that's usually how I do my layouts. I do one with mixed media and one without. That way, while one's drying, I can work on this one. I just used some of my Jane Davenport, I forget what they're called, but they're basically crayons that look like lipsticks. And I just went at it with my fingertips, and I love this, okay? What I have right here, I'm like, yes, this is going to totally work. I love how it's doing. The gesso on the paper is really making it kind of stand out a little bit. And this is where I make my mistake. Okay, this is where I screw it all up. I decide that I'm going to pull color from the photo. Yeah, which is something I never ever do. And then I have the orange in, and I try to mix it in, and it basically turns into mud because orange and green, orange and blue might look good together, but not mixed. So I just wipe a bunch of it off. I decide I'm going to add in more color with the blues, and then I'm going to put it all back and blend it together, and I just don't, okay? It just doesn't turn out. I should have just left it with the blue instead of pulling color from a photo, which again is something I never ever do. I never look at a photo and go, yeah, I need to pull the color from there. I just do what I want, and here I go trying to do something that people do all the freaking time. Like, all the freaking time. People match their papers and their mixed media and everything to their photo. And you know what? I just got to learn that doesn't work for me. I just got to do what I want and use the stuff I want, because really, I don't really care if my photos match my papers. I have some really soft layouts and some really bold photos. And that just works for me. So yeah. So this was a mistake. And as you can see, it's basically a travesty on this paper. It's a freaking travesty, okay? I decide, forget this. I'm going to pull out this plaid paper instead. And then I'm going to use my punches. And I'm going to go ahead and punch some labels out. And my punch basically chews up the paper because it wasn't completely dry. And at this point, I was just super frustrated. I ripped the paper from the punch, and I'm like, we've got to get something done. Like, I was like, huffing and puffing. Had to get myself calmed down. So I thought, what better way to do that than to just cut into this big, bold background from Field Trip and just make it happen. So I do that. This is the little polka dot paper that I gessoed. So I'm just using that. And then I'm going to have these two photos of my son. One photo of my son, and then one photo of the Gundam. And I decide that I need to mat this. So I take that mixed media mess up, and I use it for a photo mat for the picture of my son and the little piggy boy behind him. I really don't know what the little piggy boy is, but he is a little piggy boy. He's got a snout, and he is plump, and he's pointing into his mouth like, feed me. So if anybody actually knows what that is, please let me know. I'm sure if I asked my son, he probably won't remember, but, you know. So if you know what the little piggy boy is, can you let me know down in the comments? I do know what a Gundam is. I watch Sergeant Frog, okay? So I pull out some gold and khaki cardstock. I believe this came in a Target dollar spot paper pad. I'm pretty sure it did. And I'm just adding that in. That was not in the kit, but when I make a kit, I don't feel like I am constrained just to what is in the kit. My entire scrapbooking room is a kit. Like there's so much, and if I want to use something and get something used up and put it on my layout, I'm going to do that. It doesn't matter to me if I didn't pull it and specially set it aside for a kit. Now, these little doilies weren't in the kit, but I felt like the doilies needed to be less translucent, so I folded them in half to go ahead and place them onto the layout. Now, this little red frame, this little red frame has been hanging out on my desk for a while now. I just haven't used it yet. It is a little bit thicker than most of the little frames that I have. So I think that might be part of it. I'm thinking about filling it up with sequins though. Like I really, really want to fill it up with some sequins. So there is that. That might happen. These little chipboard banner pieces, I know that banner is a little wonky right now, but don't you worry. I think I get it a little bit better. I thought that I needed some sort of weight down here at the bottom of the photos so the photos weren't kind of like flying around. And originally I thought I was going to repeat that colorful kind of like hexagon, triangle pattern. Sometimes I look at this and it's a hexagon pattern. Sometimes I look at it and it's a triangle pattern. But I thought that was going to work, but it did not. So I flipped it over and used the grid paper on the back of it. And then I have this little piece of grid paper that will eventually get put up at the top as well with some layers. So we go ahead and get that down. I just love when you speed up a video, you can see how much fidgeting you actually do with papers. I just find it like really, really cute actually. And okay, I just have to know, do you guys watch YouTube videos on regular speed or do you watch them sped up? So I always thought I would never watch a YouTube video sped up. Like it doesn't make sense. Like I don't want to listen to a chipmunk voice. And surprisingly, most of the time when I watch YouTube videos these days, I'm watching them at twice the speed. And even though the voices sound like this, like you're talking really, really fast, like Micro Machine Guy, it still isn't so fast that I don't understand it and I can't get what is being said. The only time I don't really speed up YouTube videos like that is when I'm getting ready in the morning. I usually, after I get out of the shower, it takes me between like 10 and 14 minutes to get ready, depending upon how fast I'm going and if I can get my mascara on my eyelashes without getting it all over my face. Yes, I am almost a 40-year-old woman and I still struggle with putting mascara on. Maybe I should be watching mascara YouTube videos when I'm getting ready in the morning instead of scrapbooky ones. But whatever. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. That's basically the only time I don't watch sped up YouTube videos is in the morning when I'm getting ready. So there is that. Now I pulled out my Vicky Boonton Puffy stickers and I love these things. I think this is probably the third package of these that I have. And it's just because they're so usable. Like the sentiments on them, the words, super, super easy to use on over and over again on different layouts. The little hearts and dots and arrows and circles, again, really, really awesome basic shapes to be able to use over and over again on layouts. And it's not like you have to worry about when you're doing your layouts and you're going, oh, I use those, oh, I use those, oh, I use those. Like, you're not going to flip through an album and be like, oh, Sandy, you sure did use an awful lot of puffy hearts. Like, big freaking deal. Do you know what I'm saying? They aren't screaming, I use this many puffy hearts. Okay, so I had my triangle banners down, and I do believe they came in a Freckled Fawn kit from many, many years ago. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry, but I do believe that's where they came from. So I have this black and white twine, which is basically the end of my black and white twine. I need to get some more. I need to put that on my crafty shopping list. And I just used my Nouveau Deluxe adhesive to adhere the bows that I tied at the end and also give them a little bit of a curly cue throughout the banner. So the banner isn't fully attached to the little black and white twine, but it's implied. My tiny attacher was giving me a fit. I had a stuck staple and didn't realize it, but as soon as I got that bad boy out of there, I was able to staple no problems. And I just wanted to add a little bit more of the black and white twine on the layout because it just seemed a little funky that it was up here at the top. To be honest, that banner up there feels a little bit funky because I feel like I have a lot of dark and bright colors. And I tried to be able to lighten it with the dotted paper that I originally used the mixed media on, and also the doilies to bring like the whiteness and the lightness to this side. It just feels a little funky, and like I said, it's not my favorite layout, and it might be because I struggled so much with the mixed media and I was already kind of ticked off about it. Like when I realized that I screwed up the mixed media by putting that orange on there, I was pissed. I mean, pissed. So, and really, like, should I really be that emotional over a scrapbooking page? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the right answer is there. I'm just not sure. But I do get the layout finished, and ultimately, I'm happy with the layout, but I'm not ecstatic with the layout. And sometimes when you create, that's just the way it is. And I know that there are people out there that would redo the layout until they were ecstatic with it. But I'm not that kind of scrapbooker. I'm kind of the kind of scrapbooker that's like, yeah, it's done. It looks decent. It's good enough. It's going to get slapped into an album. And I found that when I go back later and I'm flipping through the albums, and I'm like, oh, isn't this the page I hated? This is cute. Like, there's nothing wrong with this page. I love it now. So, you know, I'm just one of the ones that I'm like, get the stuff done. I have many memories, lots of stories I want to tell, lots of photos. So done is better than not done, in my opinion. That's for me. Done is better than not done, in my opinion, for me. I don't want to tell you guys how to love your layouts or redo them or not redo them, because whatever makes you happy, you do it. Like, girl, you just do it. So I do add in these two little chipboard glitter stars, and I know that these are from Freckled Fawn. They were the last two kind of just chilling out, so they were just sitting on a little dish on my desk. And I decided that this would be the appropriate moment to use them because I don't have three, and I do usually put things on in odd amounts on my pages. I just like it that way. So, but I thought that I had this line of embellishment going from the upper left to the bottom right, and like the stars fit in perfectly. That banner over there is like the little extra bit. And maybe that's why it feels a little funky to me, because this page probably didn't need that extra bit. It probably just could have had that wide open space up there. But you know what? Like I said, I'm not redoing it. I'm not taking it off. For one thing, if I pulled it off, the glue would rip off the top layer of the paper, and we don't need that. Now I'm using this stamp, and I'm actually using this as a date stamp. So I'm putting the date November 13th, 2019. Oh, this is not 2019. This is 2018, right? Yes, this is 2018. Need to fix that. I'm just going to, well, I mean, it looks like it could be 2018. So we'll leave that there. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you again real soon.